Hello students, welcome to Pathak's Computer Academy online classes. In the previous video, we learned about control statements in Python. Today we will start some data types in details. The first one we will discuss today is list. I already discussed the basic functionality of list data type when I lecture that topic known as data types in Python previously. So today we will discuss it something in detail. So the topics are as follows. First of all, a small introduction, then some characteristics of list. After that, what is list indexing and splitting? Then what are the basic operation that we can perform? And then we will discuss how to add elements and how to remove elements from the list. And at last, some more basic built-in functions. Sorry, the spelling is mistake here, but built-in function we will discuss at last. So, what is list? A data structure is a collection of data elements. Okay, whenever we collect some elements collectively, then it form a data structure. And list is one of them. But list is one of the sequence data structure. What it means? It means it look like an array which we are used in various other programming language like C or C++. But there is a small difference, and it is more likely to similar with vectors in C++ and array list in Java. Okay, why? Because of what? Dynamically sized array. We can increase or decrease the size of the list. But in array, you already know that it is fixed data structure. Neither you can grow the size of an array or nor shrink the size of an array. Okay, so I think it is very clear to you what is the basic difference between list and array. Here in Python, a list is a collection of things, or you can say that elements enclosed with brackets, and the elements are separated by comma. Here I listed some example. First one is the list of integers. Another list is the different type of data are stored. So there is a second difference between array and list. What it is? In array, you can store data which are similar. Either you can create integer type array, float type array, string type array, but here you can include various type of data in a single list. Here, first element is integer, second element is floating point number, and the third one is string. That can be possible in Python. Clear? So first property is it is dynamically sized array. You can grow or shrink. Second one is you can store different type of heterogeneous type of data in a single list. Clear? Now, some basic features are, first one is list element can have multiple types of item. I already discussed. This is the example. First element is integer type, second element is of float, and third one is of what? String. Next one is a list is a collection of which is order. What it means? It means the position of each element in list is fixed as soon as you initialize the values of list. To understand this point, you can see this example. I have created two lists L1 and L2. In L1 and L2, there are three elements. All the three elements are same. One is of integer type, second one is of float type, and third one is of what? String type. Okay, but there is a difference of order. So here you can see that integer element is of 0th position, and then in 1th position there is floating point number. But here in L2, floating point number is on 0th position, and in 1th position there is an integer value 10. So what it means? It means whenever I will check L1 is equal to L2, it will give what? Answer false always. Why? Because the order is to be maintained in list. So there is a different memory location for L1 and different memory location for L2. So I think it is very clear to you what means ordered. Okay. Now, next property is the element of the list can access by index as same as in array. It starts from 0 and move from up to n minus 1, where n is the number of elements in the list. Okay. So here you can see that whenever I will ask L1 of 1th position, it will give what? 3.14, because indexing start with 0. Okay. But in L2, 10 will be printed. Now, next property is list are mutable. Mutable means you can modify the existing value of the list. So here I am going to try to change the value of 1th position of L2. So 1th position of L2 is what? 10. Now I am going to try to modify to 20. So if I'm going to print L2, it will show what? Now the updated version of the L2, that is 3.14, 20, high. So clear? What is mutable? Means modification can be possible in list. Now, these are some basic properties. Now I am going to discuss list indexing and splitting. The elements of the list can be accessed by using the slice operator, that is by using bracket, just like array. The index starts from 0 and goes to length minus 1. Again, just like array in C. Here, the first element of the list is stored on 0th index, next one is on first index, and so on. You have to remember this point. We can get the sublist, means if you want to find out the sublist from the list, then you can use this syntax. And this syntax is whatever the variable name, then in bracket, there are 3 values is to be given. In these 3, first one is start, then colon, stop, colon, step. From where you have to start to fetch the element. Stop -1 means whatever the value is given as stop -1, up to that element is going to be fetched out. And at last, step is to be given. By default, the value is 1. It means it is incremented by 1 automatically. But if you want to give some other steps like 2, then it will print what? First element, then third element, then fifth element, and so on. So here I have taken all the possible example. Okay. What they are? L1 is equal to 5 elements are given. Just in this line, I have printed that element. Okay. Now, this action is already discussed. L1 of 0th position. So, for 0th position, 1 will be printed. L1 of 4th position. So, it means it is 5th position. What it is? 0th position, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th position. So it will print that. Now, if I am going to try to print outside of the list, means 5th position, L1 of 5, it means I want to extract 6th element of the list. But here you can see that there is no 6th element. So in Python, it will generate an exception, and that exception known as what? Index error. This index error means it shows that whatever you are going to try to fetch the data, that is out of the range. This is not possible in where? C, but this is possible in Java. Automatically detection. That is possible in Python. Now, I am going to fetch here the sublist. So here I have given the starting point and the ending point. So it will start from 1 and 4th position -1, that is 3rd position. So 1, 2, 3. 3 element will be printed. 1th position 5, 2th position 7, and 3rd position 2. You can write down like this also. Interpreter will treat that the starting is 1th position, but you have to move on up to what? To the last element of the list. Because I have taken the empty data. I have not written anything, just after the colon. So it will, by default, it will treat it as you have to go till the end of the element. So it will start from 5, it will ignore the 0th position, and then move on till the last element will printed. The same thing can be happened by using the last element. It means interpreter treats that you have to start with 0th position, but you have to move on for specific position. That is 3 minus 1, that is 2th position. Again, 0th position, 1th position, and 2th position. 3 elements are printed. That is 1, 5, and 7. Very clear. And at last, you can give all the 3 values, that is starting value, stop value, and incremented or step value. Here, you can move 0 to 0th position up to 5 minus 1, that is 4th position. Means I am going to check all the elements of the list, but I want to print what? Step size is 2. So 1 is printed, then second element will be printed as 7, then 10. Why? Because the step size is 2. By default value is 1. So that's why 1, 7, 10 is printed. Again, you also do that you can pass only what? Step size. So here, starting value will be the 0th position and ending value will be the last element of the data by default. So it will print 1, 7, 10 again. You have to practice a lot because in interviews or in any practical examination, this can be asked frequently and students are unable to give the correct answer. Okay, all the possibilities can be checked. Okay, now moving further, there is another beautiful facility is given in Python, that is the negative indices are also possible. Okay, so you can move from right to left also by giving negative indexing, and this will start from -1, not from 0. Okay, so first element will be on -1th position, second element on -2th position, -3, and so on up to the first element of the list. So here L1 of -1, so what will print it? 10. L1 of -5, it will print 1. But if I want to fetch L1 of -6, there is no such element. There are only 5 elements. There is no 6th element present over here. So it will again generate what? An exception, and that exception is index error. You are trying to fetch outside of the range. Okay. Now again -1 to -3. So here there will no compilation or any syntactical error, but answer will not be given. Why? Because it is very important point. You have to start with what? -1. Okay, that's okay. Now go to up to -3. -3 means -2, -3, -1, that is -4. Printing in this direction is not possible, or you cannot traverse continuously. That's why it is printed empty list. You can traverse the list from left to right only. That's it. You can fetch the single element with the negative value, no issue. But if you want to fetch or traverse more than one element from the list, by using negative indexing that can be only possible from left to right. Here, you can see that L1 starting is -3 and then up to -1. Okay, so -1 minus, you know that length -1. So -1, it means it is up to -2th position. That's why -3 is 7 and -2 is 2. Only 2 value is printed. -1th position, that is 10, is not printed because you know that whatever the stop value is given, it will go on less than -1 stop value. So here again, I have given what? Start with the 2, 2th position, that is 7, and go up to -2th, means -3th position. -3th is again 7. So only 7 is printed. Now L1 is equal to -4. It start with -4 up to 4. So it will print what? -4th position is -1, -2, -3, -4. Start with 5, go up to 4th position, means 4 minus 1, that is 3rd position. So it will print 5, 7 and 2. Okay. And at last, you can also ignore the starting value, stop value. Only you can give the step size, and that can be a negative value. So it is -2. So it will print 10, then 2 is ignored, 7 is printed, 5 is ignored, 1 is printed. Okay. Again, I am saying that you have to run these commands by yourself by putting all the permutation in combination. Just like here, I have given all the negative values, 1 negative, 1 positive, 1 positive, 1 negative. Okay, some are left out. Okay, and you have to check what is the data is printed or what the data are fetched by the interpreter. And one thing is, you have to be very careful. These are generally asked. Okay. So you have to remember, if negative indexing is given, then the traversing will always move on from left to right. Okay. Otherwise, there is no such syntactical error, but you will get empty list. Now, some operations are, I already discussed in operators. Repetition operator means what? It will print all the list whatever the times you are going to print. Concatenation means it will combine 2 lists, 3 lists. Membership operator will check whether the element is present in the list or not. Length function, len function will give the length of the list. Here, first element is L1. There are 2 elements. Again, the second list is L2. There is only 1 element, 30. Now I am going to try L1 plus L2. It will concatenate both the list L1 and L2 and print 10, 20, and 30. Now I am going to try repetition of elements. L1 into 2. 2 times I want to repeat it. That's why here you can see that 10, 20, again 10, 20 will be printed. Now I am going to check whether it is a member, any value is the member of list or not. 20 in list, L1, yes, 20 is present. So the Boolean value true is printed. 40 is in L1, no, false will be printed. And what is the length of L1? It is 2. Okay, this is very simple. There is no such to discuss deeply. Now, next topic is very important. How to add elements in the list. So there is one function that is known as append. Append function can be used. Only one element at a time can be added to the list by using the append method. But you have to know that, you have to remember that this function will add that element at the end of the list. So here L1, 1020, L2 is 30 from the previous slide. L1 dot append 25. So now I'm going to print L1, it will print 10, 20, 25. Now I am going to print L1 dot append L2. It will print all these three and fourth element as a list. You have to be very careful. Okay. The fourth element is the list itself. So it means list in list. So if I'm going to try to fetch this value by using what? L1 minus 1. So one in 1th position, there is a list. That's why it is printed like this as a list with the help of bracket. But I want to fetch the value of that list, that is 30. So what is to be done? You have to work as a two-dimensional array. L1 on 1th position, you have to fetch the list. Now I want at that list the 0th position. So it will print 30. Okay. This is very important example. By using this, you can create two-dimensional array in Python. Okay. Another function can be used to add the element in the list, that is insert. But in insert, you have to supply two things. First one is the position value where you want to insert. There is a drawback of append. What it is? The new element will add on the last element of the list. But here you can insert at a particular position. And the second argument will be the value or the element. So here L1 is equal to 10 and 20. Okay. Now I want to insert on 1th position the value 13. So it will execute without any problem. And if I want to print it, it will show 10, 13, 20. Another function is extend. Extend is again, it will add the element at the end of the list. Okay. Clear? But the advantage is that you can add more than one element at once with the help of what? Extend function. So L1 dot extend 23, 30, 33. I'm going to insert three elements simultaneously. So it will execute without any problem. So in interview or in practical examination or Viva examination, this will ask by the examiner what is the basic difference between append, insert, and extend. So append will insert the element at the end of the list. Always with the help of insert function, you can insert the element, new element at a particular position. And in extend function, you can insert more than one element at once, but again, this will add the new elements at the end of the list. Okay. Now, how to remove? Just like add, you can remove the element from the list. To do this, you can use remove function. Okay. So, remove method in the list will only remove the first occurrence of the searched element. You have to be very careful. Okay. If there are more than one element that are of same value. So, what will be the first occurrence of the value? That will be deleted. So, I have taken here 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. So, 10R comes 2 times, but in different position. 20R comes 2 times, again at different position. So, I want to remove 20. It will print, delete what? On the first position of the list, because it will extract first. So here you will see that now at the first position 30 is present, 20 is no more. Okay. There is another function that is pop. Pop can be treated by two strategies. First strategy, you have to pass the position, or you can simply put the function pop without any argument. So it will work as what? Last in, first out. LIFO order. Okay, it will pop the last element of the list, just like here. L1 is 10, 20, 30, 30, 20. L1 dot pop, it will pop 20. Now, if I'm going to print L1, it will print 10, 20, 30, 30, 20 will be deleted. But with the help of pop, you can delete the elements on the specific position also. So I am going to try L1 dot pop 2. So it will delete the 2th position, 0, 1, 2th position 30 will be deleted, and 10, 20, 30 will show. Okay. There is another functionality, or you can say that there is no such function, but there is a trick of splitting. By doing this, you can delete the data. That is del, and you have to pass A colon B. Okay. So this method deletes all the elements in range starting from index A till B mentioned in argument. So here you can see that there are various elements. Now I'm going to delete del variable name from 1th position to 4th position. So it will delete what? 1th position from here, 20 will deleted, 30 will deleted, and 40 will deleted. 1th position, 2nd position, 3rd position. 4 minus 1, that is 3rd position. So if after deleting the element, I'm going to try to print the values of L1, it will print 10, 20, 30, 40. That is 10, 20, 30, 40. These three values are deleted. So you have to remember that there are three functionality to delete the element from the list. That is remove, then pop, and at last there is del method. Now, there are some other built-in functions that can be used. I am going to discuss some basic one. There are a lot of functionalities are available in list class. Okay, you already aware that there is no such data types are available. All data types are of class. Okay, and whatever the variable you declare is the object of that class, either list or anything. So first function is sort. As the name suggests, the function sorts the list in increasing order, just like this. L1 dot sort. To do this, first of all, I have done what? Reverse. So it will print 40, 30, 20, 10. Now, after sorting, again the value is in the initial position 10, 20, 30, 40. Next function is clear. As the name suggests, this function is used to erase all the elements of the list. So L1 dot clear. Now empty list is shown. Other than this, max of list, it will print the maximum value, the element of with maximum value. So it will print what? Max L1 40, because in the list L1 40 is the greatest element in the list. Min, the name suggests, it will print what? 10. Now count as the name suggests, it will print the number of elements present in the list. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 is the length of the list, but here it will count whatever the argument is passed. It will check how many occurrences are present in the list. So I have put it what? 20. So 20 are comes 3 times. 20, 20, 20. 3 times. So 3 will be printed. And at last, list bracket sequence. It will convert any sequence, either string or other thing, to list type. So here I have put some example. One variable s is of type string, pathak. Now I want to convert it into string. So what is to be done? List function is to be used and pass the sequence variable. So you can say that, see that now L variable is of which type? Is of list type. So that's all for today. Today I discussed about the list class. As a broad manner, you have to say list is a class. That's why we learn properties and methods, because you know that object have two things. First one is state and behavior. State means some properties, behavior means some methods. For example, switch. Okay, in your home there are various switch boards and there are various switches present. Switch have two properties. What? First one is on, second one is off. But by putting the value on, what is to be done are written in some function. And when the value is given off, what is to be done is written in another function. And that combination is known as object. And that object is of type of any class. Okay. In the next class, we will start tuple data type in detail. I hope you enjoyed a lot this session. because it is very informative session for list data type. Thank you so much.